right, peace and much love, Zin Uru here. Haven't done one of these in a while. Just been in a meditative mind state today. Got a good meditation in last night, and then just been contemplating as normally do when I'm out and about, handling business, doing what needs to be done. And I was just driving around town today, and I've been studying the effects of fear and what fear does to the body. There's a famous, well, it's not a famous song, but it's one of my favorite quotes. It's from a artist, and he said in a song, "Fear is the chemical weapon that everyone is looking for." And when we talk about chemical warfare, most of the time people think about, like the movies, like all of a sudden this gas is released and everybody starts getting welts and sores and all of these things, and it's a deadly thing, is pathogen has been released upon the world, and that's a form of chemical warfare for real. There's a more subtle form of chemical warfare though, and that's through fear propaganda, which is what the entire media branch of the military, which is all of the media, all the mainstream media, is a branch of the government. And this constant fear porn that they're always giving and feeding to people through movies, through television, through books and magazines, and when I say television, it sounds outdated even, through streaming services, you would say nowadays. And what happens is, we get stimulated when we watch these things. Like there's a part of the mind that doesn't really know the difference of what's real and what's make-believe. And I say a part of the mind. Some people will say the whole mind, but I just say a part of the mind doesn't know. Because you can rewire your mind and reroute it to where even if you're watching a show or something, you don't get emotionally attached and don't secrete and release the hormones and the chemicals and the that is intended to release. But a lot of people are addicted to these chemicals of fear, and it tears down the body. It causes dis-ease in the body. It breaks down the immune system. So that's a form of chemical warfare, no doubt. And it gets a little deeper than that. When they release movies that are popular movies, these are high-level magicians who make these products. These are not dumb people. You may even think a movie is stupid, but the people who make this propaganda, they're not stupid. They have a machine. They have a team. They are psychologically attuned to manipulate people's feelings and emotions and make people think the way that these movies and the people behind these movies make people want to think. And ultimately that leads to those who are making these movies and these videos and who control this media empire. It's so you will create the reality they want you to create, because what we think of, our thoughts create things. Our thoughts create the reality that we are. So, when they put out mass programming through media, then it's creating the reality through the creative visualization process, and those emotions and those chemicals and those feelings and those vibrations and those waves and all of that's released. It's creating like this reality that we see out here directly, because we're not in our natural state where we're together creating our reality. Now we can be, and there's a lot of metaphysics out there, and a lot of people know now, there's techniques and stuff to create our own reality within that. But when it comes to the masses, most people aren't educated on that. Very select few, probably the people watching this are at least aware of it, let alone advanced in being able to use the so-called law of attraction, or the so-called law of abundance, or the so-called just prayer and meditation and the benefits that has. But the point being is they create this reality, and a lot of that is created overtly through the propaganda and the machines and the fear and all of this. But there's also subconsciously that they're programming the masses, and it's a generational thing. You can see its progress over time. It's no accident that a group or a band called The Police, with a guy named Sting, is singing a song going, "Every breath you take, every move you make, I'll be watching you. Can't you see? You belong to me. My poor heart aches for every breath you take." See, when you change up the lyrics of that, you think, man, what was that song actually programming into my generation? I was like in grade school when that song came out. And, but it was a hit song. Everybody was singing it. You hear the bass line, and automatically those lyrics are triggered through the subconscious and through the conscious mind, or just staying in the subconscious by hearing it in the background. But think about that. Every breath you take, every move you make, I'll be watching you. That's the police surveillance state. And with the police surveillance state, if you break their rules, because remember, every breath you take, every move you make, they'll be watching you. Then they'll send a sting operation in, or they'll send, if you really become a danger to this system, they'll send a sting in, a stinger to get you. So, as we're being bombarded with these messages, they're compounded on top of each other. It's not just one message that goes out. One message, it has an effect, but it's not strong. It has to be reinforced with other messages and other belief systems and other subconscious prompters. And that's where I wanted to take all of this from fear to mind control. This is the first time I'm using the term mind control, but from fear propaganda to the chemistry that it does in the body, and really the waves and the fear that's created in the body, to the destruction of the body, to creating their reality for them through the creative visualization process of these messages that are in the movies, to even creating the police state through every breath you take, every move you make, I'll be watching you. These are called subconscious prompters. And probably one of the most powerful subconscious prompters that most of us who are watching this can relate to, and if you're young, in your 20s, you probably know about it too. There was a famous movie, I think about the early 90s, with Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson, called A Few Good Men. A Few Good Men. And, as far as propaganda goes, you can't get two better actors than Tom Cruise and Jack Nicholson. And the performances and the intensity that they brought in that movie were profound. But there's one scene, and you already know what scene I'm going to talk about if you've seen it or you remember that scene, and how often it's been repeated since that scene came out. And they're in the courtroom, and Jack Nicholson's character is this buzz-cut military, tyrant who will stop at nothing to protect this military code and this military control and this military power and, the authority over you. He represents the authority over you, and Tom Cruise is also working for that same authority because they can't undo what's been done. But in this movie, Jack Nicholson's character is a very intimidating character. He's supposed to be very intimidating as the protagonist, as the antagonist, And Tom Cruise is like, the hero, the protagonist, and that's who we relate to. We relate, most people watching the movie, the way the movie's designed to get people involved with the psychology of the movie is you have to be emotionally involved in the hero's quest and the hero's journey of the antagonist, or the protagonist, which is Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise in the movie A Few Good Men is the one that those who are watching are subliminally and overtly attached to. We're rooting for this character. We want him to win and root out this evil element out of the government, and root out this evil element of control. And with all of this intensity and all these emotions, and then relating to this character, there's a scene in the movie in the court where they're arguing back and forth. Tom Cruise is he's the lawyer, and Jack Nicholson's character, he's up on the stand. He's on the stand. He's being interrogated by Tom Cruise, and they're going back and forth, and he's saying, Jack Nicholson is telling him, you don't know what it's like where we live. We keep evil at bay. There's people who want to come in and destroy this country every day, and I do what is necessary. And I don't remember the exact words, but the ones that everybody remembers is he goes, what do you want? And Jack Nicholson says, what do you want? And Tom Cruise goes, I want the truth. And then Jack Nicholson says, you can't handle the truth. Wow. Now remember what I was talking about before, about subconscious prompters put into the mass consciousness to take upon a reality, to create their reality for them. You know, for the powers that be who make those kind of movies, who greenlight and fund those kind of movies, who write those kind of psychological movies to manipulate you, manipulate your family, manipulate us as society. What a powerful prompter that was placed into the subconscious mind. I want the truth. See, the antagonist, the protagonist, once again, the protagonist, Tom Cruise, is saying, I want the truth. And then this guy, this powerful actor, this Jack Nicholson, and then what he's representing as this general in the army and this dictatorship and this, like, at any means necessary, you're gonna die, and we are the authority, we are the authority over all of you, says you can't handle the truth. And then people take that in. That was shown in advertisements. That's been done on Saturday Night Live sketches. That's been mimicked in other movies. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Everybody who's ever heard that, everybody who's seen that was told at that moment, and all the moments since then, how many times see the alarms going off? They were letting us know, like, you know, that's the Matrix. The alarm goes off in the Matrix to try and distract. That movie was placing in the subconscious mind of the masses a subconscious prompter, because remember, we all share the same mind. We don't have individual minds. We have access, we have different fractal points, or different points of reference and perspectives, facets that we look through the same universal mind with. So in this oneness, in this wholeness of the collective mind, and in each individual's access to that mind, in each individual's mind is placed this prompter. I'll get to what a prompter is in a moment here. Put this prompter out that you can't handle the truth. Now, what happens when you can't handle something? A few select people go, if I can't handle that, I'm gonna learn how to handle it, you know? But most people is like, man, I can't handle that bullshit. I'm just gonna go do something else. So people just don't want to know the truth. People don't want to seek the truth. Why? Because they believe subconsciously, prompter, you can't handle the truth. We go around, I can't handle the truth. Jack Nicholson told me I can't handle the truth. Now, this is not the conscious mind thinking this. This is the subconscious mind thinking this. Through a subconscious prompter. There's a book, a great book I always recommend, called 3 Magic Words by U.S. Anderson. And he talks about what a subconscious prompter is in this. You know, when we're going through and doing affirmations, a lot of people, when they're doing affirmation work, they might say in their mind while they're meditating, I'm seeking the truth. I'm seeking the truth. I'm seeking the truth. I'm seeking the truth. And that's all they're thinking about and all they're visualizing. But there's a subconscious prompter in a lot of us, or many of us, or not all of us, that says you can't handle the truth. It doesn't make it up into the conscious mind. It's the subconscious mind, and it's a prompter, and that prompter has to be removed. Now, there's techniques, and I don't have time. I'm not taking the time right now to get into the techniques. That's where this is going. This is going to be going to a guided meditation I'm going to be doing in the next week or two about this issue, because it's very serious. That you can't handle the truth doesn't mean you're just saying, I'm seeking the truth, I'm seeking the truth. It could be like, I'd really like to know more about my relationship with God. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. I'd really like to know more about how this government is manipulating people financially. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. I'd really like to know more about, like, what Bill Gates is up to. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. See how powerful that I'm just focusing on one single prompter, let alone the billions, millions, billions, who knows? I mean, it's quantum, that are in and embedded into our mind, that would create with the brilliance of the human mind, would create such a shitty society, such garbage and trash and disease and filth, when we're capable of literally the kingdom of heaven and earth. That prompter as well, you can't handle the truth, because the truth is what brings the kingdom of heaven. The truth is what brings hip-hopia. I want to be a true hip-hopper. You can't handle the truth. Well, if you want to be I want to be the dopest MC of all time, you can't handle the truth. I want to be great at what I do. You can't handle the truth. See that one prompter there, and there's many more, but just even that one prompter can keep people from living their life purpose and keep them slaved to the system, keep them working, keep them paying the bills, keep them voting, keep them paying taxes, keep them believing every mainstream lie that the media says. I mean, it was fascinating to watch in 2020. All these people who hated Trump would obey him out of fear. They were afraid, and so they obeyed everything he did, every mandate of shutting down businesses and locking people in their homes on house arrest and all this. And I'm not going to get into all that, but just see how powerful that is. Even people who hate the authority still do what they're told. Even people who disagree with the authority still are doing what they're told. So the only way this authority has any power, because there are literally billions more of us than them. The way that this authority maintains that control is through these subconscious programs and these subconscious prompters. So us as individuals, we want to bring the truth. Why? Because I can handle the truth. I can handle the truth. I don't even handle lies. I don't like lies. They say the truth hurts. What a bullshit prompter. The truth might hurt, but I'll tell you what hurts more. Being lied to hurts more than the truth. There's another subconscious prompter that was before television. The truth hurts. The truth hurts. The truth hurts. I don't know how many jackasses, adults, would just pound that into kids and children. Not call them jackasses, but jackasses, some of them. Some of them well-meaning, but hey, the truth hurts. The truth hurts. The truth hurts. The truth hurts. If you've experienced the level of lying and manipulation that I've experienced in life, lying hurts way more than the truth. As a matter of fact, a great man, in fact, the greatest man, Jesus Christ himself said, "And the truth shall set you free." Now, if we walk around and we hear the words of Jesus Christ and say, the words of the Christ Almighty, saying, "The truth shall set you free," you can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. Who is that saying that? If Christ, if God is telling you the truth shall set you free, who's the one saying you can't handle the truth? That's Satan. That's the devil. That's pure evil. And that must be removed, gently removed out of existence. Because it's just a prompter. It's an illusion. It's a mental trick. It's a magic trick. But once you know your way around it, once you know your way out of it, those magic tricks of the devil don't work anymore. You see right through it. And the devil, it's like Prince said, the devil wants a war, but he can't fight. The devil can't fight you on any of this. There's nothing to fear. There's no fear. They're not watching every move we make, every step we take. A robot is. All this AI is. There's not enough humans to watch every moment of every YouTube video. They want you to think that they're watching in all this surveillance. But the truth is that you can handle the truth. And the truth is that your mind is the greatest creation device ever devised. Like, there's nothing more valuable or more powerful than the mind itself while we're here in earth. And we must reclaim our mind. We must reclaim our mental prowess, the clarity of thought, the ability to creatively visualize, the ability to bring the kingdom of heaven, which is within, into outer manifestation, which is without. So I'm going to be doing a meditation. This has just inspired me. I haven't done a guided meditation, a public guided meditation in a while. I've been doing one every New Year's Eve, but I'm going to be doing one just about this subject specifically. It'll have a little message at the beginning, then it'll be a guided meditation. And it's not to remove all subconscious prompters, because that can be dangerous for an individual who's just waking up. But the meditation will be guided specifically to get rid of these fear prompters that are holding us back from really expressing God in earth. That's what this meditation will be about. I haven't named it yet or anything, but meditation has been co-opted by secret societies and put into the mainstream consciousness through, the phony sides of the New Age movement, and through they got Christians afraid to meditate, even though the Bible teaches to meditate upon the heart daily. They've got Christians thinking meditation's evil. They've got people who believe in meditation thinking it's supposed to be this magical, mystical, like I'm going to other realms and I'm traveling and seeing distant galaxies and whatnot. And that's not the purpose of meditation. Meditation is a lot like fasting. It's like mental fasting. And to take an hour a day, to give yourself an hour a day, it's not easy. Well, it's easy for me, but I've spent 40 years. I'm 51. I started meditating about, not 40 years yet, say 35 years. Meditating the beginning on and off, but just meditating for years and years on end. Different styles of meditation, trying different meditations. I've just discovered that meditation is just being still and sitting still, sitting where you don't fall asleep. There's sleeping meditations, but the meditation I'm speaking about, the daily meditation, where prayer is us asking God a question, and meditation is us receiving and listening to God, performing listening and hearing God speak to us and speak to our heart a higher truth than we're going to receive anywhere else. This truth directly to our soul. And it heals the brain, it heals the mind patterns, it heals the body, it brings peace, it brings calmness, it brings focus. These are the things that are anti-distraction. And they want to distract us with if you turn on any app, they've got these things called shorts. And I found myself in a habit of the shorts, but I wanted to get into the habit so I could really understand what it is. I knew I was getting into this habit of just scrolling through shorts and then just losing 20, 30 minutes or even 5 minutes or 10 minutes or all this other time, sitting waiting for your tires to be changed at the auto body store. And so you got your phone on, you just start scrolling through shorts, where before, when I didn't have a phone, I would bring a book with me. If I knew I was going to have to sit for an hour and a half and wait, I'd bring a book with me. And if I would sit and read a book, or I would just contemplate and think about things, think about the future, use that time to slow down time and think about things. But they don't want us thinking. They want us to constantly, and if we do have a question, they want us going to this phone first. Talk about a subconscious prompter. We used to ask God, we used to seek God, now we seek Google for every question that's on our noodle. That's a new song I have out called Metahuman, if you haven't heard it yet. Yeah, it's about the way technology is taking over. So we must reclaim our humanity. We must fight for our humanity. And the fight is spiritual. The fight is multidimensional. The fight is quantum, and we are the masters of all of these realms. And if you really want to get deep, Christ is the king of these realms. And what is the Christ? The Christ is the inner truth, the inner light, the inner love, the inner perfection, the inner crystallography. And that's what we have to return to, our centered God self, the perfection that we were created to be, so we can express this perfection here, in this plane, and make it what God sees it, and not what these so-called elite, these so-called devils lying over here. Oh, you can't handle the truth. No, the truth shall set you free. And there it is. Peace and much love. Hip.